On this episode of The Auto-Archaeologist, I'm in Michigan looking at a few cool old Mopars. Well, let's see if I can pan over. We got darts, we got Valiants, we got Scamps, and we got Roadrunners, and a lot more. So keep watching, you're gonna see a few cool cars. All right, I'm in Michigan, checking out my friend's cool collection, including this Chrysler Cordoba. It's got a 451 in it with a 4-speed. And the funny thing is these never came with 4-speed, so we don't know where it came from, but it's a B body. So we think it probably came from like a 73, 74 Dodge Charger or something like that. But then over here, we got a Dodge, this is a Scamp. Yeah, it's a Plymouth Scamp with dart fenders on it. And the Scamp was the follow-up or the successor to the Valiant line. It's got nice bucket seats, automatic on the column. And then over here, this was the owner's brother's car. It's a 1969 Plymouth Valiant that it's even a post car. I owned a post car just like this, but in blue. They used to race all around Michigan. And then, yeah, it had a 344 speed for a long time. And then this is just the owner's fun beater. What did you call it? The
crappy car show.
Crappy car show car. It's a 4-door, 64 Plymouth. It's a neat car, though. Runs and drives. And then going this way. What's up? Oh, hole. Whoa, big hole. Huh. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah, I almost broke my leg on a groundhog hole. Thankfully, the owner stopped me from killing myself. Most others would not be so kind. And then over here, that's funny. He has 371 Roadrunners. They're all the same color. That one, obviously, we're not going to untarp. This one's a 340 car, 71 Roadrunner. Still has at least one of the machine gun tips on it. Oh, he's got the other one even in the house. I love those side marker lights. They're just so cool. With the Roadrunner over the roof stripe. You can see bucket seats. He's protecting the steering wheel real nice. And then it's got the 340 badging on the dual scoop hood. No engine in it right now, but oh, look at that. Goodyear Polyglass G70 14s. When was the last time you saw those? So that's these two. He's got this Chrysler convertible that he got for what? This was the $200 car?
$200 car.
Got it for 200 bucks.
Back in 78.
Yeah, back in like 78. And he was going to have a top put on it, but the guy scammed him out of some money. Oh, this was the other convertible that?
The other big one, the red one.
Oh, the red convertible up underneath. Oh, sorry. Okay, there was another C-body convertible that he was having work done on that the top was going to be a transfer, and it's a whole thing. But then over here is another 1971 Roadrunner. This one, though, doesn't have the Roadrunner hood, but it is a Roadrunner. Which one? This was a 383 car?
383 automatic.
Yeah, 383 automatic. A car just like this was almost my first car. My first car was almost a 71 Roadrunner 383 4-speed car, though. You know, me and old Dodge motorhomes. Here's an old Brougham, based on the Class C. But how neat is that? And then we'll go walk around the other side and show you some of the cool dusters and darts he has. Oh, this one's a bench seat, automatic on the column. And out back, this used to be a sand, I'm not going to call it a quarry. It wasn't really a quarry. I mean, they took sand out of here. Yeah. There was a big sand hill that they've kind of cut away over time. And now it's this beautiful kind of like nature preserve. There's cranes and frogs and
I-75 and we supplied sand and sod for all the overpasses.
okay. When they put in I-75 through this part of Michigan, they supplied the sand and sod for the overpasses through this area, and so they built this pond. So this isn't a natural like spring fed or like stream fed. It is completely man-made. Oh, and then here, I was going to show this. The owner, he used to go to Chrysler when they were closing dealerships, and he used to talk to people, and he bought this giant 30-foot Chrysler sign and some other car signs, and this is the only one that he has left. I've never seen this sign. I don't know if it was custom or whatnot, but it's pretty neat. Unfortunately, he hit it with his trailer the other day, broke the C. It wasn't. Was it like that when I saw it here? I didn't think the C was broken last year. No. And then here is a real Sassy Grass Green 71 Demon. This was a 318 car, right? Yep. And it was so rusty when he brought it here, or before he brought it here, that he had to chain the front to the back so the car wouldn't break in half when he got it back home. Bench seat, automatic on the column, 318. Obviously, someone hacked up the dash for an aftermarket radio. But it's a real Sassy Grass Green car. I know people are always looking for this kind of stuff. Love that kind of stuff. There we go. And I last played it in 1989. And then we got the last one over here is a 1971. That's weird. Someone let it in the front marker lights. 1971 Dodge Dart Swinger. It's a this was a Slant 6 car originally. Yeah, it's got 360 in it now. This he just bought. And this is going away pretty quick. He actually flipped it already. Yeah, leaving Friday. So I had a very narrow window to check it out. But what I wanted to show is the guy who owned this car before made baby B emblem or a logo for the car, which I thought was really cool. But yeah, that's it. He's got a bunch of trucks. He's got a Snow Commander and some other stuff, but that's the majority of the muscle cars in this area. But now we're going to go back into the field and show you a few more. The owner of all these cars was so gracious with his time and wisdom about what he had. Like, he took the time to walk around and tell me the story on every car he had there, from the Cordoba to the Roadrunner, and how he's always moving stuff around and flipping and doing. When we were there, I interrupted him welding the exhaust on a 73 Duster that he had just sold. So it's really neat to see the stuff that he gets into when he has the opportunity. He was the Mopar guy for his area. He told me stories about how cars were just dropped off with titles in his driveway. He had minivans, he had some of these campers, just crazy stuff. And you'll see in a few other videos coming up, he's not even an A-body guy, and he has probably 20 of them in the far field. These Roadrunners and such were some of the nicer ones that he had, and the convertibles. So those were the ones that were right up by the building, along with the 71 Cudas that were in the actual buildings, which was really neat to see. That Black Imperial, I have never seen another Black Imperial like that. I've seen blue, like the Frank Sinatra blue. I've seen white, but never a black. And that little Dodge Dart with the baby B stripe on the rear, that was probably the most unique one out in the field. Even though he just had bought it recently and then was flipping it. And, my personal love for green, the Sassy Grass Green 71 Demon, that one really hurt that it was so rough and beyond help, but still had a bunch of cool parts. Hey, automotive adventurers! Hope you enjoyed that little glimpse into my friend's yard in Michigan. And this is just the beginning. I think the next one, I think there's going to be 2 more. And he has a huge, like I said, where that sand, it wasn't a quarry, but where that sand trap basically was. On the far side, he had another 20 Mopars, which is going to be a really good video. And this one was too. I mean, I wish I'd had more time to document the 71 Roadrunners. And there was a 83, I think, Black Imperial, which you would have seen in the pictures I posted. But it was really cool, and I hope to get back there this year to document it more fully, because I know you saw in the video some of the cars already sold that he did locally. So, fun stuff. But it's currently -7 here in Chicago. I'm literally sitting in front of a heater, staying warm. But I just spent the last 3 hours snow blowing my mother's property and her neighbors because they're old. Which fine, it's fine, but just been busy day. That's why I'm doing this right before I can go inside and do some hot chocolate. But nothing going on this week. It's supposed to be below zero most every day. It's going to be like 11, 7, and with the wind chill, it's going to be in the negative teens basically all week. So I'm going to hibernate and try to get ready for the stuff coming up here in February. Like the indie swap at the end of the month and some other small things. I'll look on my calendar. But yeah, so just trying to stay warm. I hope everyone is safe from this crazy storm front that rolled through the middle of the U.S. Because I have friends who have like 12 feet of snow in their yard or are covered in ice. So thankfully, everyone that I know is safe. That was a weird noise. Safe and healthy. And I will talk to you all soon. Stay safe.